So welcome back to another video here in Pennsylvania, more specifically Lancaster County. In the two previous videos we visited several covered bridges down this way. We're just in the area of Lititz. Got some other business down this way, so I thought I'd visit some places today as well. And we're currently in the town of Lititz, and this is the old Moravian cemetery here in Lititz. We've been to some Moravian cemeteries in the past. They're a bit unique. I'll show you why in a moment, but this one was established back in 1758, so there should be some oldies here. Been a little while since we've been at a really old cemetery. But here is the entrance to the cemetery, and you may not see any tombstones at first. You might see some way in the distance, but right here, this is the really old part of the cemetery. If you remember anything about Moravian cemeteries, you'll know why you don't actually see any upright tombstones. But as we get closer, you'll start seeing the grave markers. They're laying flat. They call this God's Acre. And usually the women are buried on one side and the men on the other. And there is one other grave we'll check out here later that's not actually in the Moravian cemetery, but kind of an important dude in this area. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, some of these are going to be virtually impossible to read. So it looks like the men are over here. I see a Henry Traeger. Here's a William. So the men are over here. And the women, let's just confirm that. The women should be buried over here then. Yeah, I see an Emma right there. Here's a Sophia. All right, so we're gonna walk around, check out some of these out, see if we can find any really old ones. You notice all the tombstones are the same. And they're all flat because it's with the idea that, you know, in heaven we're all the same. You know, there's no rich or poor. Like in a lot of the other cemeteries, you know, the more important people, more rich people, you know, they're the ones with the larger tombstones. And the poor people had almost maybe no tombstone at all. So here on Earth, you know, if you go to visit a graveyard, you can tell how important or how rich people were by looking at their grave markers. They're kind of pointing out here in heaven, once you get to heaven, if you go to heaven, I guess you could say, you know, we're all the same after death, actually, you know. Rich or poor doesn't matter. It is kind of a sobering reminder, though. So the one thing I love to do in these old cemeteries is to try and find the oldest grave marker that I can. This was established in 1758. You could find some people in here that were born in like the 1600s. I think the oldest one I found was at another Moravian cemetery. They're actually individuals. It was the, what's it called? The Hebron Moravian Cemetery up in Lebanon behind, I think it's behind the Home Depot up there. Some people that were born back in 1690, and they died in 1755 during the French and Indian War. So that was just cool. It's just awesome to find that kind of history. But so let's see what we can find here. I should mention too, you have the men on one side, women, and I think the children are buried over there. All right, let's quit yapping. Let's see what we can find here. So obviously some will be easier to read than others. Here's Adelaide, born 1831. 1853, didn't live that long. Yeah, here's one that's just completely unlegible. Yeah, here's another one. These must be old. I mean, this one's just completely gone, cracked, eroded. Wow. See, in 1852 on there. All right, I'm looking for those from the 1700s or even earlier. Actually, let's go over here. Let's see if indeed there are children over here. That's interesting. That's just smooth. Actually, no. This one's 1898 to 1987, so that's not a child. Is this a violet? Oh, so maybe these are the women. Maybe I'm getting that messed up. And the children are over there. Let's double check that. Yeah, these ones are the children where I thought the women were buried. This says I say? It's a B. Rita? Bremer? Or something like that. Eberman. Yeah. Born and departed 1825. So the children are here. So the men are on that side of the grove with these cedar trees. The children are here in the middle section, and then the women are over there. That's how it works. All right. So I'm noticing some more that are just have nothing written on them. I mean, this is not a terribly old marker here. This is similar to this one over here. Helen, who died in 1941, but some of these are just completely smooth. I wonder if there's a reason for that. Huh. If you know why, you can let me know in the comments. Oh, cool, look at this one. Just saw this. Emily Augusta, what does that say? Teetsy. Look, faithful teacher in Linden Hall for more than 50 years. That's cool, so she's a teacher. Linden Hall it's a girls' school that's just, where is it? I think it's right down there. Still here in Lititz. That's cool. I just saw the word teacher. Well, you know, I'm a part-time teacher, a lot of you know. It's kind of, there's a fellow teacher. She died 1926 she died, 1847. Cool. So I feel the need to correct myself again. I mean, up here are the women, but there's children down here too. So maybe all this is children, and you know, it's divided. The men are definitely over there, but just noticing children. These are all children down here. There's quite a few more over here too. I mean, the children are easy to tell. Yeah, died only 12 days old, 1862. Wow. Yeah, here's a Walter Edward, 1852 to 1853. So these are definitely children. Oh, here's a Thomas Jefferson. Born, looks 1857, died in 1858. Yeah, there's a lot of children in here. So I haven't seen anything super old yet. I think I did see one date of 1777 down that way, but I didn't record it just yet. But maybe some of the really old ones that can hardly read, maybe those are the older ones. There's some men over here too, or maybe this is a child. There's an Andrew Grosh. This is 1885, 1863. No, that can't be 1885. 1863 probably to 18. Yeah, so he didn't live all that long. All right, so let me correct that. I believe that's 1803 to 1863. So he was an adult male. So they have some men over here too then. All right. So I see another one over here, John Rauch, 1790 to 1853. So these are some adult men as well. So it's kind of interesting. I thought it'd be all men. The website said that all the men were over there, but I guess there's some sections of just men too. They're still separated. So we're getting some older ones. Here's a 1796 Jacob Rudy when he was born. So they're kind of in blocks. So like here's another block of men. Down there was a block of children. Over there was a block of women. It's kind of done that way. I guess when one block fills up, they got to start a new one. So what's up this way? Another block. These are men too. James Sturgis, 1836. Here's someone that was born in Germany. Looks like his name is Christian. Whoa. Something or other. Sorry. But yeah, born 1838 in is that Wittenberg? Germany. Died here in Lititz in 1988, it looks like. All right, but let's head to the other side of the cedar grove there, the other side of the archway. I'm not really seeing anything super old over here. Saw a few from the late 1700s, but since the cemetery was formed in 1758, there should be some much older ones here, but maybe they're on the other side. We'll see. Let's check things out over there. We haven't been over there yet. Not that these people are not important, but like I said, I do like to find those older ones. Of course, on my way over there, I do find some older ones. Here's a Charlotte Eberman, 1793. It looks like she was born. Yeah, here's the one I saw. This looks like a replacement. Margaretha Gutjahr, born 1727, died in 1799. That definitely looks like a remake. Oh yeah, here's one. Anne Maria Bachmann, born 1756, died in 1799. So these are both French and Indian War era graves. She would have lived through it. Not sure if she was living here in the Lititz area. She might have been an immigrant that was born in Germany though. And then these, see, here's some more empty ones. At first I thought maybe I just couldn't read them. Or maybe I feel like there's some faint writing on there, but it's long gone, if there was. Here we have Anna Rosina. What does that say? Is that 1703 to 1792? I believe that is. Let me feel that. Or is that a 0? Oh, you know what? I think I see it now. I think it's a 1723. I see the little bottom of the 2 right there. Yeah, so still old. That's still older than we saw 1727 over there. So 1723. So getting closer to finding a really old one. Here's a 1739. But then of course we have these. These are probably our ones that were born in 1600s. I mean, these are, I kind of wonder if there's ever anything written on these. Oh, here's one over here that can barely. Let me see if I can make anything out on this one. Alright, so I'm back. I went and got a flashlight. I know people tell me if you shine a flashlight, sometimes it helps. The thing with this one, it's in the sun and in the shade, but I think it actually helps with this one. I believe that says 1710 right there, or maybe 1716. Definitely our oldest one. Looks like her name is Anna. But as I was coming back up from the Jeep, the flashlight, definitely saw some older ones down here. There's one down here that said 1710 on it. A lot of these you can't read at all. Here's another Anna. That's a popular name back then. 1757 she was born. Where was our 17? What's this one? This one got kind of cut off there. 1741. Another Anna. Where were you? 1710. Calling him by their. Alright, let me get back to you. Here she is. Looks like it's another Anna. Anna Magdalena Mayer, 1710. She was born. Died in 1780. It's our oldest one so far. We're getting close to the 1600s. The thing is, I think a lot of these might be from back then. They're just so eroded away. Alright, but we'll see what we can find. So far this is our older section. We haven't even gotten over there yet to the other side. So before we go any further, you can take this moment to guess. Will we find a grave marker that dates back to the 1600s? The birth date, obviously, not the death date. This was only established in 1758, but more than likely, you know, there's people here from the 1600s that were born in the 1600s. So you can let me know down in the comments now whether you think we'll find one. At least, I mean, they're here, but will we find a legible date for one? That's the question. And just to interject here too, I know someone will ask, hey, why don't you check the church records? I did read that the church does keep meticulous records of all who's buried here, so they probably would say in the records if there's any markers that old. But like I said in previous videos, I love to just come out here and search myself. It's almost like a puzzle. And I kind of want to see the date myself, because some of these are probably super old, but there's no date on them anymore that you can read. But I want to capture a picture of the date, see it. But so it sounds like I love doing puzzles. This is almost like a puzzle, just looking around for, you know, super old dates on the tombstones. So that's the reason why I do it this way too. All right, so in this area is where we found the oldest ones. I get the feeling there are some much older ones here, but we haven't taken a peek on this side yet, so I'm gonna do that next. See what's over here. See if there's ones that are illegible over here that are that old. Oh, here we have 1711. Johann Frank, 1711. Our oldest male so far. See, and then right next to it is several that there's just, I'm not even sure if there was anything on them to begin with. Oh, what's this? This looks like a replacement one. John Valentin Grosch, born in Elligloch, Germany, 1706. That's our oldest one so far. Chief Sacristan. Huh, what does that mean? 1749. Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that. What's this extra thing added here? Because he was, you know, it's 1706 to 1771 for him. It says he was 65 years of age, and it has this, and that date. Chief. Anyway, I'm not familiar with what that means, if this is a name, or if that's a position of some sort. It almost looks like, you know, I'm thinking like chief, like Native American, but I don't know. Maybe that's some kind of position in a church or something. Anyway, I'm not a Moravian. So 1706 is our oldest. Here's another replacement. Christian Frederick Steinmann, born at Dresden, Saxony in 1711. Immigrated to America in 1749. Cool. So definitely, like I said, some older ones here. Alright, let's keep looking. A lot of different styles here too. Okay, these are getting a little bit newer. So Wilhelm, born in Philadelphia in 1754. Well, this one got shattered. What's this one? This one has a special. Oh, that's a Revolutionary War marker. Conrad Westhofer, 1737. Died in 1804. Thought maybe it was a French and Indian War marker at first. Here's a 1714. Johann Meyer, born 1714. Died in 1781. There's a one. Jasper Payne, 1708. Oh, he's born in England. Twickenham. And then several more that we just can't read. What's this one up here? Oh, 1705, our oldest yet. Matthias Gottfried, born in 1705. Cool. All right. Well, Matthias, you're our oldest one so far. 1705. So we're getting closer and closer to that 1600 something mark. 1705, I believe, was our oldest one so far. All right, we'll see what else we can find. I mean, besides looking at dates, it's just fun to see where some of these people are from. Germany, Saxony, England. People from all over the world immigrated here to Lititz, and here they are. Like I said other times in other cemeteries, everybody here has a story. Kind of wish you could just sit down and talk with them, talk about what it was like to live back then, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, all right, we'll keep looking. Find one from the 1600s. Should mention too that everybody to the right of the grove of cedars, these are all men in here. So the directions I had are right about that. Initially said all the men were over here, and I'd read that all the women were over there. But there are some men over there too. It's like they ran out of room over here. Like I said, there's different blocks or sections over there. Some are women, some are children. I think there's men further up that way. So, in case you come here yourself. Alright, haven't found anything from the 1600s yet. Most of the older ones were up in that area. A lot of these down here are 1700s or 1800s. Let's check out this one. I mentioned this at the beginning of the video. This is the grave of John Sutter. Here he is. Born 1803, died in 1880. His wife is buried here too. Good little plaque for him. Dedicated by the Sacramento Chamber of Commerce, and that'd be Sacramento, California. Yeah, John Augustus Sutter, who founded California's capital, the city of Sacramento, August 12th, 1839. The fort which he established is today a shrine containing historical relics of the Gold Rush period. Yes, that plaque says that he founded the city of Sacramento, but I think he just built a fort there. Other websites I read say he just built a fort there called Fort Sutter, but maybe that's the location of Sacramento today. So I guess he could be credited for that, depending on your perspective. I'm not saying he isn't. That's the first time I read that. All the other websites I looked up before he came today didn't mention that he founded the city of Sacramento. Yeah, he is a bit of a controversial figure. We got the church bells going there. Yeah, he moved out to California. He was part of the California Gold Rush. I don't think he discovered gold, but gold was discovered on his property, I believe. And I think his property ended up getting ruined by the gold rush, and he sought recompense from the government for that, but I don't think he ever got it. A bit controversial in other ways. He was part of some of the battles between the Mexicans and Americans out there. That was a time when California was, trying to be, control of it was trying to be taken from Mexico, and then he had the Mexican-American War at that time. Also, his treatment of the Native Americans out there is highly controversial. He treated them very badly, enslaved a bunch of them and stuff like that. So I think he moved here to Lititz in 1871. I think there's an inn or a place in town named after him, or it was named after him. I think they changed the name of it because of some of that controversy about him. But anyway. Yeah, so from living out in California, being a part of the gold rush, part of the Mexican-American War, he ended up settling here in Lititz. Partially because it wasn't terribly far from Washington, D.C. And over there is Lititz Springs Park. I think over that way somewhere, or maybe over that way. But it's supposed to have healing waters. I think he had like rheumatism or something, so he was looking for that. And also he wanted to send his granddaughters to the school. We mentioned, Linden School for Girls. So that's why he settled here. He is not buried, he wasn't Moravian, so he actually wasn't buried in the actual cemetery, but just on the edge of it there. So I want to keep looking just a little bit more here. Like I said, I do have somewhere else I need to be a little bit later yet. Maybe let's try and read some of these really difficult tombstones. Like I said, I'm sure there's some that are born like in the 1690s here. Just the trouble is finding, like I said, a legible grave marker. That's what I want to find. I mean, like I said, no doubt they're here, but I want to find one that can actually read the date. So as I'm looking around, I'm reminded of some of the comments some of my viewers make sometimes about, coming to places like this. Like there's two deaths. They're not talking about spiritual deaths, but like there's when you actually die, but then there's the idea when the memory of you dies as well. Because depending on who you are, more people are going to remember you when you pass away, and your memory, the memory of you lives on. But eventually that even passes too, when all the people that knew you are themselves gone. But I'm just thinking, even here in the cemetery, like some of these people have markers, but you can't read them anymore. So even though there's a marker memorializing them in a way, it gets to a point where even that's gone. You can't even read who this is anymore. Unlike some of the others, like you can read this one over here, but some of the others, like even that's gone. So even people like me who walk around cemeteries, even I can't, in a way, remember these people. It's like they're gone. Just an interesting thought. But on that sobering note, I think I'll end this video. I think I might come back here someday. I think my friend John, the hometown historian, he might like this place. He has a little bit of trouble getting around these days because of some health issues, but this would be a place that he could walk around easy enough. Maybe he'll find one from the 1600s. I wasn't able to find a date that old today. Like I said, pretty sure some of these tombstones would have that on it, but you can't read them anymore. Alright, so if you thought I would find one, well, I didn't. The oldest we found was, what, 1705, Matthias back there. That's still cool. I love just reading like the little, like I said, little tidbits of history about these people. Alright, but I might stop at one other place today. It depends on, like I said, I have somewhere else I need to go. But I gotta travel further south yet. We'll see. If I have time, I might stop in somewhere else. But anyway, that'll be it for this video. As always, folks, thanks for coming along, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one.